Rumors are that allegedly Marlo has a big plan to save her top spot at Real Housewives of Atlanta. What is the plan? Well, I have some new information that may answer that question and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. If you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. Alright, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly Marlo has a new big plan to save her top spot at Real Housewives of Atlanta. What's the plan? Can it work? Well, I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that Marlo has allegedly come up with a new plan to try and rebrand her image for the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. The source said, last season was really rough for Marlo. She was a first-time peach holder trying to make a name for herself. It was quite evident that the new role got the best of her, and she was lost, continued the source. She was all over the place. Also, the most frustrating thing to watch was her losing all of the goodwill she had built up with the Real Housewives of Atlanta fan base leading up to her big debut. Fans were confused as to why Marlo would switch up so drastically, ended the source. And the numbers didn't lie, said another source. Marlo had the worst cast member ratings of the season. Social media was brutal to her, continued the source, and made it look like she was in jeopardy of losing her peach. So the question is, what changes have Marlo made in order to save her peach and her top spot? Well, industry insiders say that Marlo has decided to pull a Kenya stunt and introduce a relationship narrative this season. Marlo took notice to how much Kenya being in a relationship helped her fans see her in a new light, said an industry insider. While in her relationship with Mark, Kenya appeared more soft and less confrontational. Kenya opened up more and showed her vulnerability to the Real Housewives of Atlanta fan base, which made the majority of the fans fall in love with her all over again, ended the insider. Another source said, if these rumors are true, then Marlo may have a tough sell. Fans can sense when a relationship is fake and won't take too much more fakeness from Marlo. The source continues, Marlo is smart. She knows she needs to soften her image with the fans. However, everything seems too convenient now, considering rumors that she was allegedly struggling to find a storyline that was believable for this new season. But who knows, ended the source. This could all be the real deal for Marlo and her new boyfriend. Another industry insider said, using a relationship for a storyline could also backfire. Remember, said the source, Kenya's first couple of relationships were seen as fake, and fans came for her real bad, which tarnished her image on the show for a couple of seasons. However, continued the source, a relationship narrative could swing the other way like it did for Sheree. Although fans were sympathetic to the way Tyrone treated her, they also saw Sheree as a fool in love, which was also bad for her image. So it will be interesting seeing the route that Marlo takes, ended the source. Now, kinfolk, when this rumor came across my desk, I was somewhat shocked to know that one, as we talked about, Marlo being in a relationship. But two, when I started processing it, I thought that it could actually be the real deal because of this reason. Last season on Real Housewives of Atlanta, we saw some kind of telltale signs that Marlo may actually be in a relationship. I remember on one scene when she was talking to her mom about how their relationship had deteriorated over the past couple of years. It seems as if she was talking around how that affected her real relationship with a love interest. So I kind of peeped that a little bit when they were having those conversations. Also, whenever Marlo was filming at home, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Marlo had some telltale signs that another guy actually lived at the house. And the telltale signs came about when Marlo was in the kitchen a lot. You saw things like beer that men normally drink, and that's not to say that a woman can't drink a beer, but you know, beer that men drink. Also, whenever she had conversations with her nephews regarding a male image and how she wanted them to be upstanding men of society, she always alluded to the fact that there was a man in her life that she kind of wanted the boys to kind of like see as a role model. And I remember it was one instance when Sonya's husband came over, and it made mention of that. And I always could pick up on Marlo kind of talking around that issue without having to reveal so much the fact that she is dating or in a relationship with a guy. So I picked those things what made me believe that Marlo may actually be in a real relationship when she finally revealed it for this season. Now, kinfolk, is another part of this rumor that I find very interesting about Marlo's new relationship. And it is this. I think that it's a smart move for Marlo to make to introduce a romantic relationship. I just think it's bad timing. I don't want Marlo's narrative, or I don't want Marlo's brand on the show to become a brand of girlfriend, wife, or always searching for love. I think that Cynthia holds that down very well. And it also will make her one-dimensional. And I think that Marlo is not a one-dimensional cast member. So I don't necessarily think that she should just really fall into the whole brand of being in love in order to soften her image. I think the biggest problem that Marlo had when it came to her image on the show is that she never did really make any sense. There was no real logic behind her her dust up with cast members. And I think that if she would lean more into expressing her vulnerability in a very logical way and not in a very petty way, I think it will make fans open up and see Marlo who she probably wants them to see her as a fun-loving girlfriend who can solve issues that she has with her girlfriends in a very peaceful and respectable and, you know, very ladylike way. And I feel like if the fans could see Marlo emulating that girl type of image where they solve things, I think that would help her brand out a lot and help soften her image. And I think it would do a lot more than a relationship would in terms of getting fans to really welcome her back in open arms. Now, kinfolk, there's another side to this rumor that I think that could actually backfire for Marlo in a big way. And it's this. You know, right now, we're going to just give Marlo the benefit of the doubt. We're going to say this is a real relationship, and we're going to say that Marlo has finally found love. But I will put this caveat in there. The only real relationships that survive on the show or the only relationships that are successful on the show are those real relationships that tend to translate into marriage and a partnership. And for example, Candy, and also example, Nene and Greg. Those type of relationships are the type of relationships that have the ladies on Real Housewives of Atlanta who have husbands. It makes them seem very genuine, and their husbands are always able to bring out an emotional side of them that the other ladies can't seem to do because, of course, you're going to have your guard up in your friend group and making sure no one is trying to get over on you or read you or shade you. But the key with the husbands are that they really do bring out a different side of the ladies that make them more vulnerable on camera, that makes them more relatable on camera. And then if you add kids into it, it really does help to soften their image up. And for Marlo, unfortunately, I don't think that that's the route that she is probably, or the place that she's probably at with her new boyfriend. And in order to get there, it's going to take a couple of seasons for fans to really get to know him. And then if they do go the distance, get married, and do all those things, then that's only when Marlo's probably going to be able to see like the real benefits of being in a relationship or marriage to help soften her image. Because, you know, with Real Housewives fans, we are going to nitpick every single fight, every single disagreement, and even some of the good times that they may have together, just to make sure that we're vetting that this is the perfect person for one of our girls on the show. Now, kinfolk, with that being said, it is another part to using a relationship as your main storyline that I think Marlo is just incapable of pulling off. And it's this. Relationships and marriages on the Housewives show tend to always work out for a housewife in terms of changing their narrative if they are brutally honest in the true nature of their relationship. For instance, I'm going to use Drew and Ralph. Drew and Ralph, and I stand by this. I stand by this 100%. I think Drew and Ralph, I think they are the most real housewife couple that we have had on the show ever. And I think that Kandi does run a strong second. Sanya does run a strong third as well. But I think Drew and Ralph, their honesty and their openness about their relationships and the downfalls in their relationships and things that they are dealing with, I think is real raw. It's really emotional. And I think that's what keeps Drew on the show. And also, I do feel like that is what keeps people from completely turning on Drew. Because you got to realize, Drew has not always been a real cool housewife. Drew has done some things that were very questionable, especially her first season when it came to picking drama with some of the ladies. And, you know, for a while, a lot of fans felt that Drew moved kind of suspiciously in the friend group. But it was always those scenes where Drew and Ralph were being very open and honest about the true nature of their relationship that we saw fans really take her side and really rally support behind her. Now, for Marlo, the reason why I feel like she can't pull this off is because Marlo comes off as very image conscious. She has to have a narrative and has to be control of, you know, how she is seen on camera. And when you've been that open and honest, and when you're putting all of your emotions out there, the last thing you're able to do is be secretive. The last thing you're able to do is to mask certain situations and issues and events. And that's something I think Marlo is not capable of doing. So with that being said, if we look at the fact that Marlo and her new love interest they're not at a place where they are like a married couple or getting close to marriage to where they can show a good partnership. For the fact of the matter that I feel like Marlo is that type of woman who will open up about her relationship, it leads me to believe this. I really do think that this relationship narrative for Marlo is going to backfire. I think it's going to backfire, not in a bad way. I just think it's going to backfire in a way of fans going to see it as fake and not real. Me personally, I do think it's a real extension of Marlo's life. But I really do feel like Marlo, being as image conscious as she is, I think is going to make the relationship come off fake. And it's going to backfire with fans because fans are going to feel like she's just doing this whole storyline narrative of love interest to change her image, to change her brand, or to just simply give her a storyline. Because last season, we all know that her storyline and her performance kind of fell flat with the audience. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. Now, of course, you know, this is all speculation at this point. But if you think that Marlo's relationship is real and is going to help change her image, let me know down in the comment section. But also, if you think this new relationship with that Marlo has is not believable and it probably would do more hurt than good to her image on the show, then also let me know in the comment section below. Alright, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.